Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff, and this is the Promised Neverland Episode 10 review. With me, as always, are Jake and Torie. Welcome to the show, guys.
Wait.
As always?
Wait, who's Jake?
Jake?
Where's Kobe?
Who the hell is Kobe? You know, me and Jake started Nerd Blaze years ago, and we've been doing reviews together for a long time. I can't believe you don't remember Jake, our longtime Nerd Blaze.
The very first Anime Ricochet, where we did ping pong.
Yeah, that's right, Jake. See?
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Who's a Kobe? Is there no Kobe? Is that not a thing?
I don't know who Kobe is. You know, it could be jumping between parallel universes. But you know what? I'll entertain the idea that Jake probably isn't from this show. Hypothetically speaking, if Jake weren't from the show, what would the name of the show that he would be normally on be called, Jake?
I think that if I was on a different show, which I am not, we'd probably watch bad anime and go in depth on them, and I think we'd call it Anime Dumpster Dive.
Huh. What a novel idea, you know? There might be some merit to that.
Wait.
But you're stuck on Nerd Blaze, so.
Yeah, and if you're an expert on trashy anime, what are you doing here?
No, he's not. It's hypothetical. Torie.
Oh, yeah, it's all
come on, stay in the present.
Sorry.
Jake is real. Kobe is imaginary.
At the Nerd Blaze, we only watch good anime like The Promised Neverland.
Exactly. Like Promised Neverland episode 10. So shall we begin the discussion? As we always do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So the episode begins right where we left off in the last episode, where Norman drops that bombshell truth, which is that the entire farm complex is surrounded by a cliff. Therefore, there is no escape beyond the wall. But Norman drops a few more things. He notes that he kept walking along the wall and he found another wall connected to it, and they were connected at an angle. And the angles were like 60 degrees or 30 degrees or something like that. Anyways, he uses math to deduce that essentially the farm complex is a hexagon. And if I'm not mistaken, he mentions he saw a bridge, right? Like there was some kind of bridge. And likely, so likely the bridge is like their only route of escape. And I don't know if he explicitly says this, but I'm pretty sure the bridge is past the gate.
He said only one side of the hexagon, as far as he could see, has a bridge. So he assumes that's where headquarters is. Yeah. And he assumes that's the only exit.
And that's through the gate. Because I was waiting for him to say...
Bridge.
Yeah, there's a bridge, and the bridge must be on the other side of the gate, but I don't know. I was thinking maybe possibly it's on another side, but I don't think so. It's probably past the gate,
you mean the gate out of the farm?
Yeah.
Well...
Did he ever explicitly say that the bridge is connected to that gate?
No.
No, okay. I think that gate leads to the center of the hexagon.
The gate leads to the center of the hexagon?
Yeah, because then that lets them get to headquarters and then out the bridge that he saw. Is assuming is there.
So is the farm complex the hexagon, or is the hexagon the farm plus the adjoining buildings, such as headquarters?
It's each, from my understanding at least, it sounds like the hexagon is made out of 5 farms and headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So we're just one slice of part of a hexagon.
Oh, wow. I totally misunderstood that. Because I thought it was the farm was the hexagon.
Oh, no.
And then there was stuff past that, outside that. Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, he drops that, and he's all like, yeah, you know, the demons, they didn't underestimate us, and Sister was right. There was no need for increase of security because there's no way we're going to escape because of this dang cliff. And at this point, I was like, he's going to drop another plan. But no, actually, Norman says, yep, actually, in the middle of him talking about all this stuff, someone knocks on the door, and who else is it but Phil, that little bastard kid. And if I remember correctly, Jake, it is one of your prevailing theories that Phil is a spy.
Absolutely, 100%. Phil is a spy, I can guarantee it.
Wait, do you think he's a good spy or a bad spy?
Spy for Mama or spy for
the good people?
Rebel group?
I feel like he is a spy for a third party. Like, I think he... Oh. Like, I don't know if he is a spy for, like, a good, like, outside, like, human resistance of some sort, or if he's like a spy to spy on Mama. Like I'm starting to develop this theory, like from just the way that Mama was acting this episode. I feel like Phil might be a spy for like Grandma.
Oh,
That's interesting. Okay, so I like this theory, but do you think that he actually knows the bigger picture? Or is he just following orders and doesn't really know what's happening? Because throughout the series, we kind of see him, like, especially in times when the characters are in despair and when they are about to leave the farm, Phil kind of has this look of like concern on his face, like he doesn't really know what they're gonna do with the kids when they leave the farm, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, if he is a spy, I would think he doesn't actually know the big picture. But do you guys think he actually does?
The way he like reacted when he like saw how depressed Emma was this episode, sorry to jump ahead a bit, but I think he doesn't know what's going on. I think he's a spy but with very limited knowledge of like the big picture.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Because
yeah, that's what I think too.
Because kids, I mean, just like you could see it from Rae and Emma and Norman, even though they're so smart, so intelligent, they also react with emotions, and no other emotional state is stronger than in a 6-year-old. So I don't think you can control children with giving them that much of information. So it needs to be limited, and it needs to be positive. I don't know. I just think he's being controlled in a way that he has absolutely no idea what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, Phil bursts in and she's like, "Oh, hey, Mom's wondering if you're ready." And Norman's like, "Yep, I'm ready." And he starts walking out. And it is now revealed that Norman has no intention of actually escaping with them. He didn't use the what's that called? The tracker disabler at all. He gives it back to Emma and Rae. And he's like, "Sorry, I lied. I had no intention of escaping." Because essentially, it was the original reasoning from the last episode. He didn't want there to be any mistakes at all. And he didn't want to reduce the chances of everyone else escaping just because he wanted to live. So, yeah, he pulled a fast one on them. And of course, Rae and Emma are pissed off. And they try and plead for him to escape once more. But Norman kind of just, tackles into the bed and gives him a quick hug. And he's like, so
Aww.
warm. Thank you for the good laugh, guys.
It was a very touching moment.
It definitely was. And I can't believe, like, of the theories we concocted at the end of the last episode, I didn't expect that it would go this way. I don't know. Like, I was just like, you know what? Norman's not going to die. They're going to think of another way to go through this. But no, again, the show has twisted my expectations. And honestly, this is a very logical way to go. Like, Norman is just done. He stage exit for Norman, essentially.
I mean, it made sense to me because when we talked about it before, I was like, Norman doesn't want to jeopardize Rae and Emma, especially Emma. He loves her. Like, he already hurt Emma by trying to jump over the wall with Mom. He understands that anything he does will hurt them negatively. It's not that they can't get away or they won't have a chance if he leaves, but anything he does will help or only make things worse for them. So I think I'm surprised that we didn't mention it point blank, but that seemed like what he was going for in the first place.
Yeah, I don't remember what your predictions were last, Jake. What did you think? Was this in line with what you expected, or?
Not at all. I started leaning towards your theory that they were just gonna like knock him out and hide him under the floorboards.
Yeah, bring in the muscle.
Like, I feel like they were gonna hide him against his will, but but no, that didn't happen at all. And instead, I was like bummed out.
Yeah.
So a lot of this anime has been in the point of view of Norman, and I thought Norman was the main character. So that's why I thought that they can't kill off Norman. He's the main character. He's the one that's been planning all this and figuring things out. But now I'm starting to figure out that Emma is the main character. So I think Norman is sacrificial bait for the show.
He's gone. So in the next scene, we see Norman packing up, and he opens up a drawer, and he sees a cup with some strings on it. And in the prior episode, when they were pitching ideas, trying to figure out how to keep Norman alive, Emma has like sort of a passing comment like, "Yeah, we'll do anything we can to save you, even if it means communicating to each other with cups with strings attached to them." And now it is revealed that is in reference to a past moment they had when they were kids. And we have a little flashback to when They were little mini Norman, little mini Emma and Rae, and everything was so much nicer than such innocence. Essentially, Norman has a cold because he was playing out in the snow too long, and he's kind of lonely. And Emma keeps, busting into the to his room, even though she's not supposed to. And thanks to Rae, they essentially concoct the cups with a string, and that is how they communicate. Emma's able to communicate with Norman through the door, and just the sweet little moments.
So, do you have? If you're gonna die, that's when you get the flashback scene.
I guess that's true because Sister Crone had her flashback.
I think it's meant to help really hit you with the blow that this character is gone. Like, because I know earlier on, like I know Torie was questioning the romantic relationship between Norman and Emma, and so I think that this flashback was to help kind of show that there was a past like friendship there that eventually blossomed into something else for Norman.
That's true.
Yeah, that's probably where it all started because Emma, went out of her way to stick around Norman even though he was sick, and you kind of see a brief flash of Norman's face where she's kind of blushing, like, "Oh, a girl stuck around to say hi to me when I was sick." So yeah, definitely there is Norman likes Emma in a romantic sense.
Yeah.
But so do you agree with that now, Torie, or do you still think it's a strictly platonic friendship?
No. Because that was a theory I had like way in the beginning. I was like, I don't know, I don't see it. But from what you can see from the actions Norman's been taking for Emma, and even though they haven't like explicitly said anything, just from his actions, it's just so pure and beautiful, and it makes me even more sad. They did it. That flashback, dang. Why are they making me feel this relationship? I don't want to feel this now. Ugh. So sad.
Norman finishes up packing, and just as he finishes, Dawn and Gilda walk into the room. And then we don't really see anything else after this. So to me, I got a sense that something happened. Like they must have communicated or something, or like it's possible that they just kind of said goodbye to him and that was it. But did anyone else get a sense that there was like a scene that they kind of like omitted on purpose to kind of keep an air of mystery? Like maybe we go back to the scene in the future and Dawn and Gilda have like an ace up their sleeve, thanks to Norman. What do you guys think? Did you guys have that feeling at all?
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but do we see what Norman does with the Sister Crone package?
No, and that's the next point I was going to bring up is we don't see the package at all in this episode. It's not referenced. We don't see an image of it at all, but we do know that it is in Norman's possession. But we don't know where it is.
It was in his drawer with the stuff where the original thing was.
Yeah, that was in the last episode.
There was only paper cups. The cup in the string was the only thing in his drawer, so he doesn't have it anymore unless he still has it on him. But
he might have taken it out and put it in his suitcase.
No, there's only one thing in his suitcase.
Oh, what was it?
The cup and the string.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he gave that stuff to Dawn and Gilda. That
makes
like
sense.
My theory for why there's that like not real like that no scene.
Mm-hmm.
But why Dawn and Gilda versus Rae or Emma? I guess
because Norman is playing like 5D chess.
5D, yeah.
And
who knows?
We don't even know what game we're playing.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, it's quite the mystery. It could be that maybe whatever is in that package, I don't know. It must be so that like because he doesn't want Rae and Emma to continue pressing on trying to save him. So maybe there's like because they're so attached to him, right? Whereas Dawn and Gilda, like, they're friends, but they're maybe not as attached. So there must be something in that package that if he shared it with Rae and Emma, they would have probably been even more like, hey, you really need to stay now. But Norman really wanted to exit so as not to cripple their chances at all.
And the other thing is, I think he knows subconsciously that, I think he hopes that Emma will live, but Rae, he might get defeated and he's getting sold in 2 months in January. And Don and Gilda will still continue, so maybe he sees them as the future to continue.
Oh, so kind of like a contingency in case they don't escape.
Yeah.
I don't know about that because I think Norman would have more faith in his friends than that. Just because Ray's gonna be shipped off in a couple months, I don't think he would use that as a reason not to give the information to him. But then again, I don't know. There must be something truly revelatory in that package. And it might be part of his plan. Maybe him going off the farm is the best option for him and everyone else because something in the package tells him. So I don't know. But yeah, so after that, we now get Norman. He's all suited up and ready to go to his new family, quote unquote family. And he's giving everyone a heartfelt goodbye. And just as he's about to leave, Emma tackles him to the ground. And she has the deactivator tracker thing up to his ear, and she's about to use it. And she quickly whispers in Norman's ear, "I'll distract Mom. You run." And we all know Emma's leg was broken by Mom a couple episodes ago. And just as she's about to implement that plan, Norman notices that she's about to land on the leg that she broke.
Oof.
And I was cringing. I was ready for another bone crack or something.
Yeah.
But luckily, Norman does some quick physical thinking and reverses her fall onto the other side so that she doesn't get hurt. And they have a big argument in front of everyone. They start yelling at each other. Emma's basically like, "I can't let you give up. I don't want you to leave."
Anyone else's heart racing through this? I'm like, oh my god, what is going on? Like, why are they doing this in front of everybody?
And I thought for sure Emma was just going to turn to the group and just
"You're all gonna
reveal the truth." I was like, oh no.
Now that would have been quite the twist. But yeah, me too. I was wondering if at any point at all throughout this argument, if they're going to let anything slip. But their conversation still remained consistent with what the kids know. They didn't really let anything slip at all. But it was still a big hubbub, and everyone was like, "Oh man, Emma's really upset." And finally, Norman says, you're so stupid and crazy, but you're honest. That's why And he stretches out his hand, and I'm like, "Ooh, kiss scene?" But no, Mama's there to ruin that.
Dude,
and she's like,
cock block.
yeah, she's like, "It's time to go, Norman." And so Norman's like, "Yep, you're right." So he gets up, and then Mom goes over to Emma, and she's like, "If you make another commotion, I'm gonna kill you."
Yeah.
Which, is that a real threat? Do you think that's an empty threat or an actual threat? Because she still wants her to be shipped out in good condition. Or does she have the power to just be like, "Okay, take her now"?
Oh, okay.
Because she wants her to be mature. Eventually, she's gonna kill her by sending her out to demons. But in that moment, it's more of a threat, but an empty threat. That's what I perceived it as.
Well, I think it's in two reasons. One, Mom doesn't want Emma shipped out because, spoiler alert, later on, she wants Emma to become a mom. But two, just think about if Emma were to say anything of the demons are going to eat you in front of all that crowd, what do you think is going to happen? All the kids are going to go nuts and crazy, and there's going to be a bunch of commotion. And she probably would have to kill Emma or something like that, or risk this whole operation. So I don't think she would do that.
Yeah, so it is an empty threat.
No, I think she would kill Emma.
She would actually kill her?
Yeah. I don't think she would let it get to the point where everything is ruined.
I don't know. I don't think she would have killed her.
Yeah, it's hard because there's this story on the side with the demons talking about a special plan for the smart kids on this farm. And so I'm always curious as to will she actually kill Emma? It seems like Emma's meant for a bigger purpose. Mm-hmm. So I thought it as an empty threat. But still scary.
It is, yeah. I mean,
fucking scary.
Definitely it worked on Emma. It would have worked on me, that's for sure. So yeah. Anyways, Norman is then doing his death march off to the gate, just like Connie did in episode 1. And Norman and Mom are having a very open conversation, and Mom mentions that Norman doesn't really have anything in his case, and that's because Norman knows he's not going to be able to bring anything. And then Norman asks Mom if she's happy, and then Mom is visibly shaken by this, as if no one has ever asked her, or maybe she's never even thought about if she's happy. in all these years she's been mom.
I took it as she is not happy at all. That's what I took it as.
Really?
And then she composes herself and lies to Norman.
Yeah, I would think she's probably not that happy. Deep on the inside.
I think that mom was very similar to Emma in her youth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like her taking the deal to become a mom is still kind of like shit, like haunting her. And so I think when he asks her if she's happy, that old Isabella like came out for like a second, and she's like, God no.
Yeah. And then they eventually make it to the gates, and Norman glances at the truck, which is where they first made the discovery that Connie was dead. But actually, he doesn't go in there. There's a door off to the side of the tunnel that Mom asks him to wait in. And he opens the door, and he is bathed with a yellow light. He looks up, and he looks... there is a look of shock, but not fear. That's what I perceived it. Like, he didn't look like what he saw terrified him. It just looked like it surprised him. So... And we don't actually see him die. So... I don't think he's actually dead.
I have a new theory.
Okay, is this
You ready?
theory time?
Let's hear
Theory
it.
time. Okay. So, you know how they say only women survive because they want them to make them into moms?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there has to be males that survive too because there's so many effing children that they have to take care of. Who makes these children? I think Norman is going to survive. And I don't know what the people become when they make children, but he's going to be a baby maker.
You're gonna groom him to be like a sex god,
Like
or
a
something.
steed? Like how do you breed
like
a steed?
Huh?
Exactly. That's my theory.
What if he looks up and there's just like a bunch of naked chicks? it's like, huh?
Oh my god.
You're like,
Boobies?
You've reached maturity, huh?
Oh my god.
Wow.
No, I don't think it's now. I don't think he's making
Yeah,
babies
yeah.
now.
I
But
know.
I think because they can't just have like the few humans on the side. That if they're making supplies and stuff, they don't have time to be having babies or making babies. So I think he's grooming to be a baby
Well,
maker.
I think you bring up a good point that there's definitely a role for prime, like the top of for the cream of the crop in terms of females. But where do the cream of the crop for males go?
The cream.
Well, apparently they
the
eat
cream.
them, but yeah, they could be steeds, but they could also just be one of the people that don't get eaten and become workers and stuff. So yeah, they probably. I think he's still alive. I think he is. He's gonna be shipped off to the outside world and is gonna work for the demons.
We saw that like scientist in Sister Crone's like flashback,
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure that was a dude, right?
yeah, I think so.
So I think that maybe like the like cream of the crop dudes become, like you said, work for the demons, become like scientists. So I think it's not the last we've seen of Norman. I think he's gonna heel turn. I think next time we'll see him, he'll be an antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Ooh, antagonist.
you think they're gonna like brainwash him and stuff?
Yeah,
Or like
maybe.
convince him that he can save Emma, or
Okay.
maybe Emma and Rae in a sense, and so that's going to be enough for him to kind of betray the rest of the children.
Interesting.
Mm.
Because I think
Well-
it'd be cool because he has like such this good guy like appearance, like he's got the white hair, the blue eyes.
Mm.
Like if he was an antagonist, it'd be very like a 180 from his appearance.
Yeah, and we know he's not incapable of being manipulative, at least to some degree, because when he first pitched, when he was first hatching a plan to escape with Emma, before Rae was even involved, he mentioned that the kids would be like a burden to them, so they might have to leave them behind. It was only after Emma wanted everyone to escape that I think he actually agreed to it, and also just before he left the farm, he totally lied to his friends. So yeah, I think there is some merit to that. He has some evil traits that could definitely be groomed to something even more dastardly.
Mm-hmm. Because why would they kill him with such bright light in the room and make it look all? Why would they take him into a different room? They would just kill him in the back and send him off if they were gonna kill him. So I think he's alive, yo.
Yeah. Okay, and so his
Absence.
his quote unquote death / absence resumes, and essentially Emma and Rae, they kind of just bum around and are super depressed, and they have a meeting with Dawn and Gilda about what they're gonna do, and Rae is like, I'm done, let's just live here and die. and Emma and Dawn and Gilda like and Emma runs out of the room. She's like crying and stuff, and Dawn and Gilda seem to be the only ones that are trying to have some sort of plan in action, and that might be related to what Jake said about maybe Norman giving them the package, mysterious package. So maybe that's why they have some hope left. In any case, Emma goes off to her room and is crying, and Mom basically just kind of apparates out of nowhere. But she says that she knocked. She's like, I knocked. Did you not hear me?
Like, I don't want to talk to you, bitch.
Yeah.
Get out.
And Mom is playing her kind of she's playing good cop right now. She tries to comfort Emma and is trying to say like, if suffering comes from trying to resist what is inevitable. So it would be better if you just accept what's happening and continue living a happy life here until you get shipped out. And she even offers her a recommendation to become a mom or a sister of the farm. Try to give her some hope, Try to settle her down so that all those negative hormones don't mess with the juicy meats. And of course, Emma denies this. And Emma's like, oh, that's a shame. You're just going to have to suffer then. And this is all happening in November, end of November. And we actually have a time jump. It skips ahead quite a bit to basically the night before Rae gets shipped out. January, is it 14 or 13?
So the title of the episode is January 13th. But they say that this is Ray's last night, which his birthday is January 15th. I guess, yeah. So I assumed it was the 14th,
yeah.
So I don't know.
In any case, they are right up to where Rae is about to get shipped off. So they're moving pretty fast. I thought there was going to be some kind of action or
like
activity in between.
Buffer episode,
yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
Or it's still possible because I think at the end of this, Rae is singing some kind of song, and then Emma goes up to him and is like, what you doing? And Ray's like, I'm saying goodbye to the house. And then she's like, you haven't really given up, have you? And Emma gives this really intense look. It's a mixture of despair and anguish, but also just
Determination.
Pure determination. Like a defeated soldier rised up from the ground.
This show does so well with the faces.
Yeah. The expressions are spot on for sure. And that's the end of the episode. So it appears that Emma and likely Rae have some fighting spirit left in them. And they skipped up to the very end, but I think it's possible that the next episode they probably fill in. Maybe the next episode is the buffer episode between this one and the end of in the mid-January where Rae is about to be shipped off. But
there better be a buffer episode. If not, I'm gonna be so mad if Emma and Rae decide to do something 2 or 1 day before he gets shipped. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I think there's no way, but I don't know. I'm waiting for the next episode to reveal because it shows them being depressed for a long time. Emma's sad under a tree, Ray's sad in the library, and like in the next episode, if they reveal like they did that cheesy thing where they're putting on a facade, and then as soon as that person isn't looking anymore, like Mom is looking at them, they look depressed. Mom looks away, then they have like a smirk, like I'm not really depressed.
I think it was to throw Mom off their scent. Was to just because I don't think Rae gave up either.
Yeah. I think it would be uncharacteristic of them if they did.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't make for a very exciting show, obviously.
And Rae might have, but Emma wouldn't just be like laying around crying the whole time. She'd be more than determined to start doing something.
Definitely.
At least with Dawn and Gilda, if Rae was gonna be a whiny baby. But I don't know. There's that scene where Emma was looking up at the birds as they were going by. I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna trap all those geese.
Capture the geese, send a message.
No,
actually,
tie them up. Remember the cup with the string?
That's how we do
a
it.
gaggle
This
of
is
geese.
it. Yeah. Actually, when I saw that, I was like, oh, there's still wildlife in this world. They're still migrating seasons for geese, at least, which means that whatever demonic influence has taken over the world, it doesn't seem to have been completely destructive, at least in terms of the wildlife. So that's what I thought of.
that's a good point. Good
Um,
observation.
So yeah, that's the end of the episode. What else? Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Do you guys think that her offer to Emma to be a mom was legit? Because again, I feel like the demons have something planned for like Emma, Norman, and Rae, and I feel like these threats and these offers aren't genuine.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because you're right. I think it is just a way to calm her down, to maybe give her some hope, light at the end of the tunnel, something to look forward to stop her from being so stressed out. Because yeah, as you said, like the demons want these kids specifically for some reason. So I don't think the path to become a mom is available to them anymore. Although, if we assume that Norman didn't die, then it maybe, I don't know, it's possible that she could have been a mom still.
I think Mom's offer to Emma to be a mom was genuine. I think she honestly wants Emma to be a mom, and we've already alluded to it that Mom could have some of the same traits as Emma when she was a kid, where that fighting spirit, where she wanted to try to escape. Yeah. So she sees herself a lot in her, and she realized long ago that the only way that she could fight is to fight to stay alive and to fight to give these kids a better life while they have it. So I think it was genuine.
That's a good point. Yeah,
that's a good point.
That's definitely that theory was actually going through my mind when I saw that scene. I was like, this is very much a mom talking to herself when she was younger kind of moment. It seemed like she was talking like from experience, like she felt what Emma felt long ago. Kind of
and she like put her hand on her shoulder at one point, and I thought she was gonna say, "Look, I was like you when I was a kid." It was like that close to coming out of her mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Possible.
And then another thing in that conversation that kind of went like, huh? Is that Mom says, have a kid.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. So I was like, wait a minute. Mom has a kid.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what made me think of the Norman as being a baby maker. When you stay alive, you become the person that makes these kids. Because she said, when you become a mom, you stay alive, have a kid, you get to raise all these children and, give them a better life.
Yeah, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, so that's sad that somewhere out in the world, Mom has a child/children.
Could it be Phil?
Oh.
Could Phil be the kid?
I was trying to think if there was a kid with same eye color. Phil's pretty close. I thought possibly Rae.
Okay. Wow, that would be crazy.
Because Rae took a picture of her and he like smiled.
Mm-hmm.
Kinda, and he his like what's it called when you don't forget when you don't have like the infant amnesia thing?
Yeah, infantile amnesia. Yeah, he doesn't have it. Yeah, I don't think there's a word for not having it, but
I think he might have seen his mom's face, and so I think it might be her. That's just a crazy theory.
That would be interesting.
But I think the demons are much smarter than that. I don't think they would allow a mom to have their kid in the same farm. In the same farm.
That makes sense.
What if it's a test of loyalty, though?
Ooh, that's really insidious.
I get, or when you're so high up and you've proven your loyalty, then maybe you get to have your children in the same
maybe
area.
Well, it's all very interesting. I guess we'll just have to see. So Jake, in this hypothetical show known as Anime Dumpster Dive, which great idea. Where would we find it? Is it how do you listen to this show? Where do you watch it? Where would it be seen?
I'd say that you'd go to a channel called Anime Dumpster Dive, where they'd probably release a podcast monthly where they go in depth on an anime that's been considered bad by the anime watching community, and they'd also do like bi-weekly reviews of a currently airing anime. I'd say probably this season it'd be The Rise of the Shield Hero.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. Well, you know what? I'll try and I'll entertain the idea of maybe there's a channel out there similar to that. I'll put a link to the description below. Yeah, thanks for being on the show.
Like I always am.
You always are. And
thanks, Jake.
Yes, it's Jake. Come on. Thanks for listening. This is Nerd Blaze. We do other things too. As you can see, we've been doing weekly reviews of The Promised Neverland, but we've done weekly reviews of shows in the past, like Young Justice and other animes. We also have a podcast called Anime Ricochet, where two dudes who know nothing about sports talk about sports anime. Our most recent episode was about swimming and perverted stuff. And there was also a guy on there who was a guest on our show who would have been a really good person to have on this anime dumpster dive. I don't know. I feel like he would be good on that show. Yeah, thanks again for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you next week.